we're not at all related. These two vehicles, however, they look completely different both inside and out, and they're practically siblings. Charlotte, what are we doing in today's video?
Today's video, we are giving you guys a comparison of the Hyundai Santa Fe and the Kia Sorento. Now, the trims that we have behind us is we have the Luxury and we have the X-Line. Now, admittedly, the true comparison to this vehicle is going to be the X-Line Limited. We don't have one, but we're going to pretend this is an X-Line Limited.
Yes.
So don't click off this video. We're still going to give you all the facts and figures that you need to know.
Yes. So price point wise, if this was an X-Line Limited, they would be almost identical.
Yeah.
And a lot of what's on the inside, and by inside I don't mean the interior, I mean the mechanics of this vehicle is the same, right, Charlotte?
Yep.
So which one's the better car?
Oh.
We don't have the answer for you, but we'll at least try to walk you through both vehicles so you can hopefully pick which one you like better, and maybe that'll help your buying journey.
Absolutely.
Shall we get into it?
Yeah, before we do, if you guys haven't already figured out, these videos are done live,
Yes.
which means
No script.
no script, one take wonder. So if you have questions, put them in the live chat. And if you're watching this after it's already been posted and still have questions about the two trims, leave it as a comment down below. We'll do our very best to get back to you.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's go.
Should we start off with the Santa Fe or the Sorento?
What do you guys think?
Let's start off with the Santa Fe.
Okay, Gabby decided for us.
We're gonna do a lot of back and forth. So I'm gonna start off with the front end of both vehicles, the side of both vehicles, the back end of both vehicles. And if you guys have any questions, again, we will do a Q&A towards the end of the video. Like Charlotte said, these aren't the true trims that we should be comparing, so I will point out some things that the Sorento should be equipped with if it was an even comparison. So starting off with the Luxury Santa Fe, you can already tell the front end takes on a completely different style. There's virtually no similarities on this vehicle at all, except for the fact that they both have full LED headlamps.
They have lights, they have a grill.
They have lights, they got grill, they got an engine. That's it. Now, we also don't have amber daytime running lights on the Santa Fe, but we have this beautiful H motif and a nice daytime running light that expands all the way across the grill. Now, for the grill itself, you're gonna get a lot of dark chrome on the Luxury trim. I personally love it, and it definitely beats a complete blacked out finish when it comes to long-term durability of the vehicle and scratches. This hides it a lot better. Lower on the grill, we'll have a lot of safety and tech. Now, one of the main things that the Luxury trim is going to give you is a full 360 camera. So if you take a look at the very center, you'll notice there's a little hidden camera there. You also have forward-facing parking sensors. So if you are driving this vehicle in a tight spot, maybe parking in an underground garage, not only do you get the audible feedback, but you also get the visual. And if we had the proper Sorento with us, we would have that same function. So we're tied over there already. Again, a lot of it's going to come down to design, and they are pretty polarizing when it comes to the Santa Fe. It's different, it's funky, and there's a lot of H motifs. Lower on, we do have a radar plate, so that's of course going to be safety on this vehicle. So you're going to get things like an advanced forward collision avoidance assistance that works in junctions, but also your smart cruise control with stop and go. We don't get highway drive assist level 2 on the Luxury trim, but it is available on the Santa Fe if you opt for the highest trim level. Now, when it comes to what's under the hood, and don't worry, this isn't a panel gap. We did pre-pop the hood for you guys, or get it ready for you. We do have a hydraulic lift, so there's a difference already. When it comes to the powertrain itself, if you're getting a turbocharged model Sorento, you're getting the same thing on the Santa Fe as long as you're getting the XRT or higher. So they're both 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engines that utilize gasoline direct injections, and multi-point injection. So they're both GDI plus MPI, gives you the best of both worlds, great for reducing that carbon buildup that GDI is known for. This one, however, is going to get you 277 horsepower. The Sorento is going to give you 281, and that's going to largely be due to the weight of this vehicle. The Santa Fe weighs just shy of 4,500 pounds, and the Sorento weighs just shy of 4,000 pounds. So there is a difference there.
Decent difference.
Yeah, when it comes to torque, they're both 311 pound-feet of torque, and you really won't feel that 4 horsepower difference on this vehicle. They're both peppy, they're both fun to drive. This one's going to score you 10.6 liters per 100 kilometers combined, and that is a turbocharged all-wheel drive SUV with 3 rows of seating. So those are your powertrains. I'm not even going to bother popping this one open because it's the same thing. They're both also going to utilize an 8-speed wet-type dual clutch transmission, and they'll both have paddle shifters for you guys if you would like to change your gears with your paddles. Now let's take a look at the design of the Sorento. So already a completely different look. I like to say the Sorento has a more traditional approach to an SUV. It does have Kia's new signature styling when it comes to their lights, and it still has that tiger nose grille that we've been having for a long time. It's just refreshed, revamped, and definitely more modern. My favorite part is the amber daytime running light, and then you got the vertically stacked LEDs right there. Now, if we were filming an X-Line Limited, we would have fog lights as well, so we are missing that in today's video. But as you can tell, Santa Fe doesn't have fog lights, so there's a win in the Sorento's book already. You also have forward parking sensors, and if we had the properly equipped trim, We would also have a forward-facing camera and a full 360 camera. The grille also has a little bit of a gunmetal finish. I don't want to say dark chrome because it's certainly not chrome. And then in the center of the grille, we got a mix of gloss black and flat black. You still have our radar plate right over there. It's just not in a gloss finish. And then when it comes to the skid plates on this vehicle, you'll notice the Sorento definitely takes on a more rugged approach, while the Santa Fe over there is going to be a little bit more modern and funky in its design. So if you are an outdoorsy type person and you want an outdoorsy type vehicle, this might be the one for you. Badging is just traditional on the Kia emblem. For the Kia emblem, press into the hood, looks good.
Is there a difference between ground clearance?
Ground clearance. So funny you asked that. If you are getting the X Pro version or anything X line and above, you do get an additional 1-inch ground clearance on the Sorento. Sorry, I don't want to call this a Santa Fe. On the Sorento. So that takes you to, I believe it's 8 inches of ground clearance. On the Santa Fe, I was going to call it the Santa Cruz.
I was too. I was going to help you, but I was going to say the same thing.
It's the same thing. You do have a little bit less ground clearance unless you opt for the XRT package. So let's do a quick debrief. If you're getting the Kia Sorento, the middle trim and above all have a more off-road design appeal. They're all going to have that 1-inch lift, they're going to have the raised roof rails, nice tires, and a blacked out look to them. The Santa Fe, on the other hand, only has one off-road-esque trim level. It's called the XRT, and it's right smack dab in the middle. So if you want all the bells and whistles, but you want a vehicle that looks rugged, maybe has the all-terrain tires, you're going to have to get a mid-trim here or a top trim for the Sorento. So you pick your battles. All right, let's look at wheels. Now I'm going to go to the outside wheels for both just so there's not any reflection. On the Sorento, you're going to get a 20-inch alloy and it's completely blacked out. This wheel is the same on the X-Line Limited, so that's why this is an even comparison here. Same exact design. You do get a nice gloss black finish, and there is some matte black elements in there as well. You just can't tell because there is tire shine all over this alloy. Yay. They were messy with it today. You're also going to get a Continental all-season tire. And I say all season, but there is also an all-terrain option if you're opting for the top-of-the-line X Pro package. So again, if you want all the equipment, all the bells and whistles, and the best towing capacity, the Sorento's top trim, the X Pro, has that. If you want all-terrain tires, off-road package, you're going to have to get the middle trim XRT for the Santa Fe. So you'll miss out on some of the extra tech and bells and whistles. All-wheel drive, both of these vehicles feature a very smart all-wheel drive system that has a front-wheel drive bias. So if it's a regular day, the sun is shining, and you're just driving on the highway, it's going to be primarily front-wheel drive to optimize fuel efficiency. Now, if you are hitting a gravel road, muddy road, whatever it may be, the vehicle will automatically sense a difference in traction and adjust itself as needed, incorporating more power from the rear wheels. However, both vehicles will have a knob where you can change the vehicle into snow, mud, or sand mode if you'd like to manually change those distribution ratios. All right, let's take a look at the wheels on the Santa Fe. Sorry, lots of back and forth again, you guys. Now, these are still going to be 20-inch alloys. They just take on a very different design. And you'll notice the Santa Fe already has a lot more light accents. So check that out there. And that is, of course, going to translate again with the wheels. You'll notice they're machine finish. There's a little bit of darkness, but a majority of it, the surface, is going to be just a nice, Charlotte's being blinded right now.
Guys, I put my eyes right in the
So a quick side-by-side, darkness on the Sorento.
Sorry, it's still blind.
And then a more traditional approach on the Santa Fe, surprisingly. You do get Pirelli tires, so Continental Pirelli. Now, I just realized we actually don't have a 2025 Sorento in the room with us right now. This is a 24, and you can tell because the badging on the hood is
chrome.
Yeah, it's chrome. It's going to be black for all 2025 X-Line and above models. Sorry, you guys. All right, and another thing you may notice, we do have a side parking sensor on the Santa Fe. So that is going to, of course, help with things like lane keep assist, but also parking. This vehicle just has a bit more of an advanced lane follow assist function in the sense that if a car in the adjacent lane's riding a bit too close, it'll adjust your car so you're not too close. Nice face, Charlotte.
I don't want to think about how stupid I look right now.
All right, both vehicles will have power folding mirrors with turn signal indicators that are LEDs, and they'll both have a pretty cool fender design. So let's take a look over here on the Sorento. Oh, our lights just went off. Maybe we'll turn the flash on.
We've been moving too. I don't know why the lights went off.
There we go. So you get gloss and then matte, and then on the Santa Fe, it's complete gloss, but you do have a Santa Fe boldly in the design. Here is the side view camera I was speaking about earlier. So this is just one of the many cameras on the Santa Fe that are going to piece together a 360 image. And of course, if we had the proper Sorento with us, it would have the exact same thing. So that's a tie over there. The camera quality is going to be the same amongst both vehicles too, because they're utilizing the same software.
No way.
Yes. Now let's take a look at the door handles. The Santa Fe is going to have digital key to touch and our newer style of proximity entry where there's no button, you just put your hand behind here. And the Sorento on the X-Line trim, mind you, the X-Line Limited will adjust this, has a button, but again, if we are using the correct Sorento, it would be the exact same thing. They both have nice raised roof rails. Check that out. They are also both blacked out. And both of them are going to have gloss black pillars alongside the windows.
Okay, this is going to be some quick camera work. There we go. Okay, I'm going to turn. Hopefully I'm not snapping anyone's neck. If I am, I'm really, really sorry.
I'm going to try to get the light back on while you do that.
And why haven't our lights turned back on?
There we go. All right, so you can already see based off the side profile that the Santa Fe takes on a very, very boxy approach. It's very boxy, and that's where your style preferences may completely sway you towards the Sorento or vice versa. You might really like this, and without a doubt, there's a reason why the Santa Fe is doing so well right now and facing so much controversy on the style. It's different, but it's different in a good way, and you'll see a lot of that when you hop inside. The back end is completely flat. You do have a rear camera and rear parking sensors. The taillights are probably one of the most controversial things. They do resemble a dog bone, and I'm going to turn the car on so you guys can actually see that. Mind you, everything's going to be an LED. It's extremely bright, and you do get a power liftgate. Now, both vehicles are going to be equipped with the power liftgate and the corresponding trims. Both of them are going to be height adjustable, and both of these cars are going to have 3-row seats. Now, the Santa Fe is a big winner in the seating compartment because every single seating department, not compartment, we have a bench for all trim levels except the top. On the Kia Sorento, every single trim level has captain's chairs except for the base. So if you need to move 7 people, you're probably going to want this if you still want a lot of the bells and whistles. You're going to have to get the very, very base model Sorento to move 7 people. That is all. Now along the back over here, it's going to be pretty dark, but you can see both rear seats have top tethers. Both of them fold individually, so it's very easy to knock down. And in this vehicle, another huge win is you can move 5 people thanks to the bench seat while still retaining a ton of cargo space. Now when it comes to cargo space and actual dimensions, the Santa Fe actually does win. It's very marginal though. You probably won't notice the difference in real world, let's be honest. But the seating itself, just having the option to carry an extra passenger in the bench seat really helps out because as you can see, there's a lot of room with the 3rd row down. Another win for the Santa Fe is going to be the fact that we do have venting in the 3rd row as well.
Absolutely.
So you'll see that on the right-hand side.
And not only do you have the ventilation, but you can actually control and adjust it with the knob, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's worth noting that that's not even a highest trim level exclusive for the Santa Fe. It's just something that we got. On the Sorento, it's not available on any of the trim levels, so no 3rd row ventilation. But you do have captain's chairs, and captain's chairs could be a total win for you guys. If it's very rare that you're carrying 5 or more passengers, you have plenty of room with the 4 seats up like this and the 3rd row folded down. Again, the Santa Fe is marginally a little bit bigger in the cargo capacity, but you barely see the difference at all. Both of them have the same kind of layout back here, 2 individual seats that fold completely flat. Both of them have tethers, and here's the difference. You actually get a real temporary spare tire with the Sorento, where the Santa Fe only is going to get you a mobility kit. All right, and I might just quickly close this so you guys can see the back end of the Sorento. If you didn't like the controversial rear end of the Santa Fe, this one definitely takes on a more traditional SUV approach. The rear spoiler hides your rear wiper, so it's nice and clean.
And that's for both.
Yeah, you get regular taillights. They're pretty nice. X-Line badging on the X-Line and above trims, and a single exhaust that's downward facing, so you can't even really see it. It's pretty classic, but that's something I really do love about the Sorento. It does it well. It looks good, and the interior is still great. But let's see what the interior holds for both of these cars.
Ooh, okay, that's me now. All right, so I think that we should start with the Santa Fe simply because it does have a lot more of the tech that we would see on the X-Line Limited. And then also, as we move more towards our Q&A, I'll break down what features are exclusively available on the Santa Fe versus the Sorento, and also what trims. So if you guys have any questions about trims, or if you're going in between them for yourself, that will be the time to ask those questions, and we can hopefully help break that down for you. But let's take a look on the interior. So one thing that the luxury trim does really well, especially for not being the top trim, is it includes a lot of my favorite features. It's going to have things like memory seats. It's got power folding mirrors that are going to sync with your memory seats. This one we actually have leather for our seating. Our front seats are going to be heated and ventilated. We have 4-way lumbar support for our driver's seat. We have a powered passenger seat too, so incredibly comfortable for everyone who may be involved. One thing this vehicle is going to have that is not available on any of the gas Sorentos is going to be that ambient lighting as well. So if you're a big fan of ambient lighting and that's something you gotta have for your cabin, well, the Santa Fe might just be for you, and that's okay. You'll also take a look at it. You can see our steering wheel. It's going to be leather wrapped. It's heated. And in this vehicle with this trim, we're going to have a dual 12.3-inch instrument cluster and infotainment screen, and that is going to include onboard navigation as well. So that is something that is going to be available on this trim, but on the Sorento, we will be showing it with the smaller screen, the 4.2-inch. However, the X-Line Limited, I promise, it does have it.
If we had the right Sorento, this would be...
Guys! I actually want to have Gabby come around to the side because I want to show how these vehicles are laid out, because a lot of the differences are going to be wrapped up in some of the design and also just the general layout.
So Samara said the interior the Santa Fe takes, and that seems to be the general consensus from a lot of people. The Santa Fe interior rocks.
If I'm being honest, if I could merge the exterior of the Sorento with the interior of the Santa Fe, that would be a home run for me. I would absolutely love this, especially this in pecan brown. Ooh.
The Santa Fe's got a nicer personality, but the Sorento looks better.
All right, so let's take a look at the differences. And a lot of it has to do with really the cockpit area. We've got the dual screens, we've got the ambient lighting, column mounted shift-by-wire, and this center console is going to be very, very different than what we see in the Sorento. We have a good mix of these real buttons and dials. The software is going to be the same, the search function is going to be the same, our climate control is going to be very different. So still, both are going to have dual zone climate control, heated, ventilated seats, but we're going to have this screen that's going to give us that haptic feedback, and all of our controls are available all of the time. You'll know what I mean when we take a look at the Sorento.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Please do.
Adele just said they're almost the same, but the price, though, could be a deal breaker. If we had the proper Sorento with us, what would the price difference be, Charlotte?
So the price on this vehicle is $50,999. The price for the Sorento X-Line Limited is $59,995.
That's a $5 difference.
It's a $4 difference.
Oh, I can't do math.
Now, the price for the X-Line is going to be $47,995, so it is $3,000 less than the X-Line Limited. But again, if you're comparing the two true sister vehicles, the Luxury and the X-Line Limited, guys, it's going to come down to preference. You can't even say, oh, price is a factor, because it's not. They're the same.
$4 is $4.
It's crazy. Yeah, just skip your coffee for like one day. All right, but let's focus back here. This is going to be very different, framed in, different screen. I will show what that feed is going to look like for your 360 camera. Again, this will be on the X-Line Limited. The door is open, so it looks a little bit discombobulated right now. Also, you'll notice that we have the option here for a wireless phone charger. This is all going to look very different, and then also this underhanded storage compartment. Also, one of the key differences is going to be the fact that we have an upstairs and a downstairs glove box for the Santa Fe. So lots of hidden storage, and the hidden storage does not end there. Also, our center console. So you have lots of different opportunities. We'll pull that out. It does not break. It can come out. It's removable, okay? See you, comment section. But you have tons of hidden space down here, including a hidden compartment that reaches even further back, accessible when this is pulled from the second row. This is a bi-directional, meaning it can open from either side. It's got some LED interior lighting too. And then, oh, let me put that back in. And then let's take a look at the second row.
I always talk about door handles. I will say both of them got solid feeling door handles.
Okay. So amenities back here are going to be fantastic. I love the seats. These ones are both going to be heated, so very comfortable. Same thing with the X-Line Limited. On our door, you'll notice that we have manual sunshades. We're going to have heated seats. And then also dual cup holders with a bottle holder integrated into the door. Now, these seats are also going to be on a rail system, but it's that bench seat and that 60-40 split. So that's going to be a key difference. But amenities-wise, very similar. Still have USB-Cs, still have pockets, but we do have this pull-out storage that we do not get on the Sorento. This will flip down as well. Dual pane sunroof.
So that's already a big difference. The Sorento only has a panoramic sunroof option.
Yes,
so no
that's
dual
correct.
pane.
No dual pane. However, this one does not open. It's only the front one that is going to open for you. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to...
It's okay.
It's the strep throat is catching up with me.
If you need me to say anything, let me know.
I will point out the fact that even in the second row, we're going to have air vents. They're not going to be center console mounted, but they are pillar mounted.
There they are.
And then, Gabby, do you want to show how easy it is to get into the third row.
For sure. So both of these main seats have a button up on the top. You give it a push, it allows the seat to slide on the rail, and it'll tip it forward a bit to make it easy for you to hop in.
Now, captain's chairs and a bench seat, I feel like this can go either way. Either one can be a blessing, or either one can be not what you're looking for. So the Santa Fe is obviously you have a higher trim option while having a bench seat. So you can move more people and have more cargo space. However, it sometimes can be a little bit less inconvenient to access the third row if it's something that you're using all the time, because then you're knocking the whole thing forward, basically.
You do also feel like you're kind of separated because you have this seat blocking
instead of having a center aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some people absolutely love it for that reason. It compartmentalizes more people, more cargo space.
If your kids fight.
Yeah, banish one back here. The amenities back here are very strong. I will... I'm so sorry, guys. The strep throat. The amenities back here are very strong, definitely stronger than what we see in the Sorento, mostly because it's got air vents, which I really like. But with that being said, let's go take a look at the Kia Sorento.
For sure. Oh, I was about to close the door.
I get a concussion. I'm out for 2 weeks.
All right, let me get this one. And same thing, you want a pan of the front?
Yeah, let me just turn it into accessory mode. So I want to know what you guys think about the interior of the Santa Fe, and keep that in mind when you're taking a look at this one. I'll always characterize the Santa Fe and Hyundai's lineup as a little bit more city sleek, a little bit more luxurious, where I find that specifically with the X-Line, X-Line Limited, and X-Pro trims, it's taking on a lot more of an outdoorsy, traditional, more rugged approach. And a lot of that can be seen just with the integration of some of the darker elements, that wood grain trim, all of that type of stuff. Now keep in mind, I know we've said it like 1,000 times, but this is the X-Line. The true one is the X-Line Limited. So there are going to be some differences. In the X-Line Limited, you are going to get a quilted leather seat, so that will be there. Heated, ventilated seats, all of that stuff is going to be the same. Then you will get the 12.3, the dual 12.3-inch screens with navigation. However, already in this vehicle, you are getting the 4.2 with navigation. So you do have nav. Yay.
So the screen still looks like it's a 12.3, but the only customizable section is going to be this here. If we have the true Sorento, it would be full digital cluster. I might just open the sunroof too, so you guys can see.
The panoramic sunroof.
So instead of dual pane, you got one giant pano roof, and it does open quite far. Then of course in the Santa Fe, only the front sunroof opens.
I will say, so the Sorento doesn't have the option for interior ambient lighting. It doesn't have the option for exterior ambient lighting either. So if you thought I was going there with that, I wasn't. But
neither of them do.
Yeah. But something that you do get a little bit earlier on in the Sorento on the X-Line Limited trim is going to be a premium sound system. So you get that in the two top trims for the Sorento. You only get it in the Ultimate Calligraphy. However, they're both going to be a Bose premium sound system. So they are sharing that. But let's take a look at the captain's chairs configuration.
So this is mega different.
Very much different. I will say you are still able to get the option of a olive beige interior, so you still can get a colored interior for the X-Line Limited, and it is leather. You'll also notice that our seats are still going to be on that rail system, so still a lot of convenience as well. And of course, you get the added convenience and the added luxury that cabin chairs do offer. After being in a lot of different vehicles, I have found that cabin chairs are personally my preference, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be everyone's preference. So here's what they look like. But yeah, again, the fact that you get heated seats on this vehicle in the rear, very, very nice, very comfortable. So
and if it was truly an X-Line Limited, we would have the sunshades
we'd have the
as well.
sunshades too. I like that we have the armrest, we have dual pockets, USB-Cs, we still have second row air vents, but they are going to be not column mounted, center console mounted. We have a 12-volt back here too, still USB-Cs, everything along those lines. These seats are still very easy to move forward and backwards. So I'll show you what the third row looks like. So
Charlotte, let's do it in hard mode.
Yeah, hopefully my heel doesn't get stuck again. So just like how it would be in the Santa Fe, you're gonna press this button. There are two options, one at the top, one at the bottom. If you are someone who's a little bit shorter, I'm gonna flip these seats up nice and easy. Nice and easy. I'll bring this back.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry I made that more
It's hard to
inconvenient
film
for you. I like that back here I still have cup holders, I still have USB-Cs. I have a good amount of headroom. I'll argue that I have added legroom because I have the center aisle that I can utilize.
Yeah, infinite legroom.
Yeah. So
we have a winner.
I also like that they didn't cram in either of these vehicles, that they didn't cram 3 seats back here, because that would be a little bit too tight, but the fact that they've got 2, very nice.
All right, let's see the legroom.
So here's legroom, but keep in mind, this is the furthest the seat can go back. It can move forward.
So you could have a lot more.
I could have a lot more, but I have infinite.
This is true.
I'm relaxed.
The seat has lots of legroom right now, so if whoever's sitting in front of you is feeling nice, they could definitely give you more space back there.
And if I'm feeling mean,
You can fold them in half.
now both vehicles are gonna have that feature, so very easy for loading and cargo.
Awesome.
12 volt too. Woo! No household inverter for this trim.
And is that a little handle to make getting out a little easier?
It is, and a seatbelt clip to keep it out of my way.
Perfect.
All right, should we do a Q&A?
Yes, we absolutely should. So I understand every time we do live streamed car reviews, especially when they're comparisons, it can be very back and forthy because of course there's no editing in a live stream. We did all of that in real time. And again, no scripts, we have nothing.
No teleprompter,
Nope.
just brain power, for
No
better or for worse.
teleprompter. And our lights shut off, so
Again, so guys, we told you. There we go.
let's see what you guys want to know about these cars. And maybe we'll do a quick debrief.
Okay.
So, in the very top model Kia Sorento, it's called the X Pro. You get 17-inch alloys, so a smaller alloy compared to the 20s we showed you today, with an all-terrain tire. Sounds smooth, right? But on this trim level, you're going to get all the tech that the Sorento offers, so digital rear view, memory seats, premium sound system, literally everything. You just get a bit of a funkier, more rugged...
Sorry, for the X Pro?
Yes,
You're also going to get the digital rear view.
I said that.
Oh. I was not paying attention. I'm so sorry, girl.
So yes, very top trim level. You'll get all the tech that's available for the Sorento, but you'll have an off-road-esque package.
Yes.
So all-terrain tires, really rugged look. It looks good, but it's not as fancy as the Santa Fe, even though a lot of the tech is still similar. The top of the line Santa Fe, which of course we didn't have today either, is going to have things like a heads-up display, the dual
Wireless phone chargers.
yes.
Forward attention warning.
Yes.
It's going to have the driver relaxation seat. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 7 things it's got. Wait. Heads up display. Digital. No, not digital. Heads up display.
I think someone's painting over there.
Oh,
They don't have to come inside.
that's odd.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit of tech that you can get on the Santa Fe
Hold on.
that you can't get on the Sorento, and then of course there's some wins for the Sorento. So it's very back and forth. A lot of it's going to come down to what trim levels you're comparing. And if you are someone who values a rugged look, just know you'll get a lot more getting the rugged Kia than you will the rugged Santa Fe.
Yes. Okay, guys. I had to double check to my notes. Oh, my laptop died. That's
Yeah.
really good. Okay, I do actually have to double check my notes to tell you guys what things the Santa Fe does have. So it does have heads-up display, ambient lighting, sterilizer tray, the dual wireless, forward attention warning, which for some people may be a make or break now, the fingerprint scanner, and then also the driver's relaxation seat.
Ooh, towing capacity of these two SUVs. So base model
my
Kia
laptop died.
Sorento, so LX and EX is 2,000 pounds. When we're talking about the base model Santa Fe, which also happens to be a hybrid, that's also 2,000 pounds. When you get up to the 2.5 liter turbo engine, so on the X line and above trims for the Sorento, it's 3,500 pounds. And when you go to the X Pro, it's 4,500 pounds. So you get 3 different towing capacities for the Sorento. So confusing, I know.
So confusing.
But again, the highest capability Sorento is going to be the highest trim level Sorento. The highest capability Santa Fe is going to be the middle trim Santa Fe, which is the XRT. And that gives you, again, 4,500 pounds. Everything above that is 3,500. Everything below it is 2,000 pounds. So confusing, I know. If what we're saying doesn't make sense, please look at Kia and Hyundai Canada's brochure page on their website, and I promise they break it down a little.
Highlight it, yeah.
Yeah, seeing it in text is always going to stick with you a bit better than hearing us talk about it. It makes sense to us because we deal with them every day, but...
A lot of people want to know which ones we would pick.
I would pick the Sorento exterior with the Santa Fe interior.
Okay.
Which
so
doesn't
that's
exist.
Yeah, which is our same take.
No, I would still pick the Sorento. I would probably do the X Pro.
That's what I drive.
Yeah.
That's what I drive right now. It's fully blacked out too.
I don't have that option.
It's chic. Very chic. Very rugged.
Yeah, I like it. I would probably get the jungle green exterior. I really do like that.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's very nice. I like that on the X Pro.
What would you pick?
She
already did.
Guys, I already drive one. But a part of it is just because Gabby and I are based out of Kias, we spend a lot more time with the Kia product. If you do know me, you know that I always tend to lean a little bit more classic when it comes to really anything. So I tend to lean more towards a traditional exterior approach, which is why I picked the Sorento. But no hard feelings against the Santa Fe. I absolutely adore the interior. And like I said, if I could take that interior with me, I absolutely would.
Another reasoning for a lot of people is obviously you're going to spend more time on the inside of your car. So having an interior that really makes you happy and is very comfortable for you makes a difference. And for a lot of people, that does happen to be the Santa Fe.
And it depends on what tech you want. Like there is a lot of tech options that are available on the Santa Fe.
That the Sorento doesn't get. It's painting. He's painting.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what he's painting, but there's someone outside painting. Should we film him?
We told you this. No. Told you this was live.
I would for sure cross the country to buy a vehicle off you girls. Amazing knowledge, and for sure, killer good looking. Cheers from Vulcan. Thank you.
Do both have the same sound system? So the X-Line Limited is going to have the Bose. The Luxury is still going to have the in-house. Both top trims are going to have Bose 12 speakers.
Yes. So like what Charlotte said earlier, you get a premium sound system earlier on in the Sorento versus going all the way to the top trim to get it in the Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Okay, we should film that. I bought a 2024 Santa Fe calligraphy in April, and I'm trying to see what the differences are for the 2025. Any chance you can enlighten us on that?
Forward attention warning.
Yep.
I was ready for that. Yeah, it's really just the inclusion of forward attention warning. That seems to be quite polarizing, so depending on your perspective on that, you may have really lucked out with the 24.
And then Glenn said, my sister looked at the X Pro and Limited, both super nice. They are, and honestly, the X-Line Limited, which is not the top trim, has a lot of the tech that most people are looking for. Because the only real big tech difference that the X Pro gives you is that digital rearview mirror. Yeah. Everything else is mostly cosmetic. So the wheels, the headliner, that's pretty much it.
Yep, very much.
And the towing capacity too, of course. Yeah. So let's break it down for you guys. Would you take the Sorento that has 4 more horsepower, or the Santa Fe that looks a little bit more
Santa sleigh?
Yep, that's what she said. Let us know in the comments.
Come back to haunt me.
Yep. Let us know in the comments down below. And again, we tried our best to break it down for you guys.
But if you have questions, please leave them on this video. We would love to answer them for you.
Yes. All right. And hopefully we'll be able to do a top model versus top model comparison. Inventory permitted.
Stay tuned. We're looking at you, Brantford Hyundai.
Yes.
Stay tuned. And if you haven't already, please like this video. Please subscribe. It really does mean the world to us. And we will see you guys next time.
And it's free.
And it's free. Who free stuff? Snooches.
Oh, I flipped the camera.
No.
Hold on.
Okay, Pat.